guys. Give him a hand, guys. Give him a hand.
All right, I know you guys are already tired of hearing me speak, okay? So we'll make this brief. But let me tell you, when I played football at Gallatin in high school, I can look back and I can tell you right now, I had a great group of men who coached that football team. These guys were Christian men, and they loved us, and they did everything they could to teach us the proper way to play football, but they also wanted us to make good grades in school. They wanted us to go to church. These are good Christian men, and I love every one of them today. One of those coaches that coached me in high school just happens to now be the head football coach at JP2 High School, Jerry Jocelyn. He was an assistant coach at Gallatin when I was there. And so he can vouch for everything that I'm telling you guys. But I remember those days of those coaches trying to lead us to do the right things from school to outside of school and to playing hard on the football field. And just to show you what those guys did as a coaching staff, we were fortunate enough, we were ranked #1 in the state most of the time that I played at Gallatin. So we had a great coaching staff and we had some great athletes there during those years. When I went on from high school to college, let me back up a little bit. All those years I went to church. My parents had me in a church. Okay, when I got to college, okay, I got a little bit too big for my britches and I stopped going to church. Okay, I went to class, I played football, I didn't get in trouble, didn't do those types of things, but I quit going to church. Okay, I had guys on my team, teammates, that would come to me and say, hey, you want to go to church with me this Sunday? I didn't want any part of it. I had my days in church every Sunday with my parents. I was at that point where I didn't want anybody to tell me what to do anymore. You guys ever have a time when you don't want mom and dad to tell you what to do anymore? Yeah. Raise your hand if you ever have had that. Have you ever felt that way?
Always.
Well, guess what?
Every second of the day.
Every second of the day. I won't tell anybody who said that. All right?
I know.
Well, guess what? As you get older, you're going to feel more that way. You don't want mom and dad to tell you, but guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, mom and dad know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. Listen to mom and dad, okay? I didn't listen to anybody at that point other than my coaches, but I had teammates come ask me. They wanted me to go to Fellowship of Christian Athletes. They wanted me to go to church with them. They wanted me to go to prayer sessions with them. I didn't have time for those guys at that time. Okay? I can look back today and a lot of the guys that were trying to get me to do those things, they either made it big in sports, like went to the pros, or they're running big time businesses today. They're very successful in life. They have healthy, happy family lives. 2 or 3 kids, married to their partner. They're doing very, very well in life, okay? When I left college and I had gotten away from going to church and having a relationship with the Lord, okay, I got out and a few years out, I realized, wow, my life's not going the way that I really wanted it to. You know, not that making a lot of money is very important, but I wasn't making what I thought I should be making. I didn't have the type of job that I thought I should have. I didn't have the relationship with my family that I wanted to have. There were a lot of things that weren't going right in my life. And I had to take a look at myself in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And it was about that time I had several people that I had not seen in many years come up to me, ask me how I was doing. And it's funny because I had about 4 people ask me if I wanted to go to the upcoming Fellowship Christian Athletes fundraising meeting right here in Hendersonville. And I looked around and I was like, wow, I can't believe how many people have asked me to go to that meeting. Well, I figured that must be a sign. So I went to that meeting. And when I went to that meeting, I had people come around me basically put their arms around me and let me know that I was important to them. And I took that as a sign that God was working on me in my life at that point. And so I started being in contact with those friends again. And I started taking advice from some of these Christian friends of mine. Why did I say Christian? Because these are people that are learning about the Lord and have ongoing relationships with the Lord. Okay? The Lord will guide you in your life to where He wants you to be. You want to make sure you're in God's will in everything that you do in your life. I was outside of God's will. I then entered back into relationships with Christian men. I rededicated my life to Jesus Christ. When I rededicated my life to Christ, I looked around me and everything in my life started improving. My business grew. My income went up. Relationships with people improved. A lot of things changed. And I realized then that that's what was missing in my life. From that point on, my mission has been to reach out to others that need to know Jesus Christ and try to help them make sure that they stay inside of God's will. And to stay in God's will, we need to read the scriptures in the Bible so we know what God's telling us. Okay? And we need to be around other Christian people. And one of my favorite verses that I like to talk about is Proverbs 12:15. The fool thinks his ways are correct. The wise take advice from others. Okay? Now, when we say take advice from others, what others are we talking about? Who? Christians. That's an awesome answer right there. You're right on the money. You should be taking advice for or seeking advice from other Christians when you're trying to find an answer for something. The other thing we can do besides asking for advice from Christians is what?
Ask the Lord.
Ask the Lord through prayer. Very good. So prayer is one answer, and getting advice from other Christians who can give you godly advice. Those are the things that we can do in our lives. Okay? You guys as youngsters need to be around other youngsters that are Christians, that are going to church, that have the same things in common. And if you're around somebody that's not, that's okay. Reach out to them and teach them about the love of Jesus and the love of God. Okay? You guys understand that? Okay? All right. I'm going to let you guys ask me some questions if it's about my walk with the Lord or if it's about football. Ask away, guys.